The wicked neighbor, Mama Rosie's secret. In the quiet village of Okporo, where the air carried the scent of red clay and the night spoke in whispers, there lived a woman named Mama Rose. To the world, she was the picture of kindness, soft-voiced, ever smiling, the type of woman who always had a bowl of soup for the sick and a word of comfort for the grieving. But behind her gentle eyes, something dark stirred. Mama Rose lived next to Mama Judith, a widow raising 3 children in poverty. Her husband had died suddenly, leaving nothing behind but debt and sorrow. Despite the hardship, Mama Judith was strong-willed and prayerful. She never envied the rich or resented her condition. But that didn't matter to Mama Rose, who had her eyes set on something far more sinister. You see, Mama Rose had grown tired of pretending. She envied her other neighbor, Mama Henry, a woman of grandeur who wore fine lace, drove the latest car, and lived in a house with golden gates. Rumors swirled around Mama Henry like harmattan dust, tales of wealth bought with blood and souls, of covens, shrines, and midnights filled with chants. But Mama Rose didn't care. She wanted that life too. She wanted the respect, the attention, the envy. And so she made a pact. One night, under the light of a crescent moon, Mama Rose traveled to a forbidden forest deep beyond the village where no bird sang. There, she met Dibia Ekwensu, a twisted priest who demanded a price, blood of innocent. Youthful. Close to your heart. And every 5 years, the soul must be renewed. Mama Rose agreed. And from that moment, her heart was no longer hers. At first, things changed slowly. She started dressing finer. A new TV appeared in her sitting room. Her roof was suddenly repaired. People began to ask how she managed. She would laugh and say, "It's just God's favor." But it was no God she served. When the time came for the first sacrifice, Mama Rose set her eyes on Mama Judith's eldest son, Obina. A sweet, quiet boy of 16 who often helped her fetch water or sweep her compound. She lured him one evening with the promise of a bicycle she'd won in a raffle. They never found his body. They said he ran away. Mama Judith cried for weeks. 2 years later, her second child, Edeora, went missing too. A bright girl with a voice like sunshine and dreams of becoming a nurse. She disappeared on her way from school. Mama Rose wept the loudest at her burial when a charred, unrecognizable body was found in the nearby bush. But inside her home, behind tightly locked doors, her wealth multiplied. Soon, Mama Rose was matching Mama Henry, in wrapper, in shoes, in arrogance. The two women often greeted each other with stiff smiles and guarded words. Behind those smiles was an unspoken war. You see, there can't be 2 queens in the same kingdom. But darkness is never satisfied. On the 5th year, the charms demanded more. It was time to renew her wealth. This time, the Dibia gave a new condition: bring the last one. The youngest. The soul that still sleeps with innocence. That child was Chinaza, Mama Judith's last born. A girl of 7. Fragile, soft-spoken, always with a doll in her hand. The village had grown used to tragedy in Mama Judith's household, and Chinaza had become her only joy. Mama Rose befriended the child, offering sweets and stories. She even offered to sponsor Chinaza's schooling. "Let her stay with me during the week," she told Mama Judith sweetly. "She'll get better food, better education. I'll treat her like my own." Tired, desperate, and grateful, Mama Judith agreed. That Friday night, when the moon turned red, Mama Rose took Chinaza to the shrine in the forest. But something was different. As the chants began and the Dibia raised the sacrificial blade, the flames around the shrine began to rise wildly. The air grew thick, and Chinaza's body began to glow faintly, as though wrapped in divine light. The girl opened her eyes and began to hum a hymn, one Mama Judith often sang in church. Suddenly, the altar cracked. The Dibia screamed, "She is marked. This one is protected by a stronger power." You have brought a curse upon us. The ritual backfired. The charms twisted. The spirits turned. One by one, the faces of Obinna and Edora rose in the fire, their voices crying out in agony. They reached out to Mama Rose. The charms she had buried under her floorboards ignited into flames. Blood oozed from her eyes and ears. She ran, screaming, but the spirits followed her. Her house collapsed the moment she stepped inside. By morning, she was found cowed beside her doorstep, muttering names, confessing every sin. The whole village gathered. She pointed fingers, cursed the Dibia, named Mama Henry, and screamed about blood and bones buried under her house. Then, her body convulsed. And she died, her mouth open, eyes wide, as if staring at something no one else could see. They say Mama Rose's house still bleeds at night. No one dares to live there now. The land remains cursed. Some say her spirit wanders, seeking one more innocent soul to trick. Mama Henry fled the village shortly after, no one knows where she went. As for Mama Judith, she moved far away with Chinaza, who now sings in churches and tells stories of how God saved her from fire. But whenever people speak of evil dressed in kindness, they remember Mama Rose, the wicked neighbor who wore a smile like a mask, and died by the same blood she spilled. The end. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to subscribe, like and share for more interesting Africa interesting story.